Heyo everybody, Haku here, and now it's time for part 2 of my top 25 Tower of God arcs, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite arcs in all of Tower of God. So this is going to be very interesting, and there were 46 arcs and pretty much every single one was very good. I will have a link down in the description to the first part where I kind of quickly go over numbers 25 through 11. Now I'm probably going to get a little bit more in depth in each of the top 10 as to why I like them and things like that. As in depth as I can, because who knows, words may fail me. But I think that I got this. Number 10 is the tournament arc. I really liked the fights in this one. I liked that we were kind of split between seeing Wangnan and his fight against, what were their names? Rebo and Lebo, Tebow and Rebo, something like that. So I really like that we were split between that and seeing Bomb's team fighting Team Mad Dog, and all of the stuff that goes awry with that. It was so good. There was a lot of development. The fights were really good, and the ending was really good too. I liked the ending of the Wangnan stuff, and I think that was at the very end of this arc, where Wangnan summons Rak, Yiwa, and Quietro. Oh no, he summoned Quietro earlier, and then he summoned Rak, Yiwa, and Akraptor. That's right. Sorry, was a little off there on my memory. Number 9 for me is the Hide and Seek arc. Now, I think this is a really popular one, especially among the Volume 1 fans. Like, oh man, it was really good for early Tower of God. And man, it still to this day has some of the most development and some of the best fights. The entire game concept was really good, and those of you that know me from the videos know that I absolutely love good game concepts for Tower of God. So the game was awesome. Quant was really great in this. The first team and their challenge was really awesome. It had a really good twist, a lot of mystery behind it, and that was great. But then getting to the second team, we got so much character development, a lot of emotional moments, and a ton of really awesome fights. They were really awesome fights, the likes of which we hadn't gotten very much of, like before this in the series. They really delved more into a lot of the way that people fight in the tower. So it was so good. Like, it was really one of those stepping stones that the comic needed to become what it is today. So number 9 definitely has to be Hide and Seek. Number 8 for me is my favorite arc in all of Volume 1. My favorite arc from Volume 1 was Crown Game. Crown Game for me was the part when I watched it the part when I read where I was like, this needs an anime. This needs to be animated. Especially the Lori and Lorray and Anak fight. That was so amazing. I just loved when, like, he's like, Lizard, when you're on that throne, I can hit you from anywhere in this room. And then she comes back with, well, from this throne, I can hit you anywhere in the room. And the, what was it, the Green April split out into all the different branches. That was so amazing. Just that fight and all the other smaller fights too. Seeing Hua-Ryun come in was really awesome. And how Bomb used Shinsu there. Like, and especially the best part for me was when we finally see Rak and Kun are like, they decide, we're devoted teammates, we're sticking it out with Bomb. Even if it could hurt us in this game, we're gonna stick with Bomb. And that was so good. That was when they really cemented themselves as a team to me. And just seeing the development with them and the funniness and development both with the Anak, Hatsu, and Ship team, it was just totally great in just about every way I can think of. Number 7 for me is the Summoning arc. I really like the Summoning arc because we got to see a lot of characters and fights that we didn't get to see a ton of. The summoning arc, we got to see Lore. I really struggle with that pronunciation because it's spelled different at different times because of the translators. But either way, Lore and his little struggle with Beta, and then Beta with Rack fighting him, Kun, Yiwa, everybody coming in there and fighting against all of the just it was so good at bringing things together from the workshop battle and leading us into the conclusion of it. So it wasn't really the hugest, longest, or biggest arc, but it was a very good one. It was a very fulfilling arc that really did its purpose in showing us all these characters and setting us up for the final confrontations. And actually, no, the summoning arc did have Bomb versus Beta, didn't it? Yeah, it did. It had to have. So we got Bomb versus Beta in that, which was an amazing fight that I absolutely loved. We got all the teammates coming together to fight the workshop soldiers. Like, that was amazing, because I'm pretty sure this, this led all the way up until Beta's defeat and rushing in at the workshop. And when they get the message from Reflejo is when it ends. So this was an amazing arc. This was a huge arc. I absolutely loved that one. I did go over all these arcs before I made the list, and it honestly makes me want to reread the series for like the 6th to 8th time. I've reread it a lot, but I want to again just because, man, it was so good looking back on some of these arcs that I haven't read in a while. Number 6 in this is the Battle X Gamble. Now, you might be asking why I put that one above like the final confrontation with Beta or a lot of these other ones, but for me, the fights were the most entertaining. Like, the fights were really awesome, and I sort of liked the tournament style of it. I liked the storytelling with it, where we got to see the development of these characters through the tournament style fights, like with Prince Wangnan and Akraptor's fight, or the one with Goseng, Horyang, and Chang, even though it wasn't really much of a fight. The speech that Chang gave, the short little one, was really cool. And then seeing Varagarv and then Bomb and his match, it was very good. And especially what you have to talk about talking about this arc is the Anak versus Ron fight, which still goes down to me as one of the best fights in the entire series. Number 5 for me is Closure. The Closure arc is the one where we get the message from Reflejo, so we send the teams to go out and save Horyang and Novik, who had been captured, and Jaja ends up helping them. And then, of course, we get the 2 massive fights. We get Hatsu and Andrasi versus Ranmei and Varagarv. And, of course, we get Bomb, Kun, and Rack together again, finally, to fight Reflejo. And the fight with Reflejo, again, one of the best fights in the entire series. It was just a great climax for the entire workshop battle, and to find out about Reflejo's past during it and at the end of it was amazing too. So I really can't say anything negative about the Closure arc. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Closure, we got the FUG ranker versus Liroro, which was awesome too. I friggin' love Liroro. Number 4 for me, believe it or not, is our most recent arc, the Dollar Show. Now, the Dollar Show, even though it's the most recent, it's up this high because we got so much. We got a really creative game, and multiple rounds of the really creative game, each with their own thing. We got a lot of cool Kun versus Rachel stuff in each round. We got a lot of awesome fights, some pretty sad deaths. I really love a lot of the fights. And then the Bomb and Joaquin fight. And the Bomb and Joaquin fight, that may end up being as for right now, I'm not totally decided on if it's the best fight, but it's definitely up there. It's such a good fight, and the emotions from it are what put it this high. The emotions from finding out about Rowan and Boro's team, their past, the emotions from Joaquin's past and Bomb versus Joaquin, and Bomb finally overcoming him, that was like, this was what an arc should be. Like, the Dollar Show is amazing. Number 3, my third favorite of every arc we've ever had is the Devil of the Right Arm arc. I don't know, I love the setting with the Hand of Arlen. I love how it was sort of sad how Hor-Yang left and Bomb went after him. We had the awesome fights involving Hor-Yang and Kasano and Bomb and Imran and Novik, and I loved seeing Ron and Novik fight as a tag team. That was really freaking awesome. And of course the emotions at the end when the hand blows up and Bomb thinks that Kun could have died. All of this stuff happens, and what really cements this arc up there for me is, I think, maybe my favorite scene. It's up there. It's probably my favorite one scene in the entire comic. And that is when we see Rachel giving Dan the ultimatum where she's like, you can help me. Let's climb the tower together. And Dan has one of the best lines, maybe the best line in the entire thing, where he's just like, you can walk up the tower on your own with those healthy legs. You've kicked away 2 of your friends with those legs, haven't you? And that was so great. And then thinking that Dan was dead after that, where you just see the blood and FUG scrawled on the walls, it was so perfect. That moment was one of the most emotional. Like, when that chapter came out and I read it, that was one of the most surprising chapters. And this arc was just an emotional ride back and forth. So, Devil of the Right Arm has to be my third favorite. My second favorite arc in the entire series is another one that's really emotional for me, and that is The Praise. The Praise was an arc that sort of continued the Untrustworthy Rooms arc after Nia's death, and it's probably one of my favorite arcs because it was so powerful and emotional for me reading it. Seeing Wang Nin grab the thing from grab Bomb's little connector thing and say, I need this. I need your help. It was so powerful where he's like, I don't care if I have to team up with the devil. I've got to get my revenge. And then Wang Nin ends up letting Lurker live, not because he wanted to forgive him, but because he wanted to forgive himself. That was just, it was so amazing. And what made it even more amazing is seeing Akraptor in there fighting Hor-Yang, especially taking out Rap Devil. We see Prince turn to the good guy's side. Yiwa gets saved. Goseng and Miseng get more development. It's seeing these characters come together, especially Akraptor, Hor-Yang, Bomb, and Wang Nin after they had been fighting the round before. It was amazing to see these characters come together and unite with these common struggles and enemies to become something better, something bigger. The formation of Team Tang Soo Yuk, it was just so good. The Praise has to be there for me. Now, you can probably guess after the ones that I've named so far which is my favorite arc in all of the series. And my favorite arc in all of the series is a sort of recent one and an extremely long one, and that is Revolution Road. Revolution Road is my favorite arc because I love the characters we were introduced to. We were introduced to Angel, Daniel. We got the rest of Rachel's team in this as enemies. We got reintroductions after the time skip to all of our characters from before the time skip. And the fights were the best part. It took a while to build up, but we got the Muradic Guardian fight with Akka and Beta, and then we get Ron in there, and then when Kun's team shows up, we get Prince, Akraptor, and Miseng after the time skip. The Muradic fight was amazing. Then we have the fight with Boro and Danwa was really cool to see Boro's power. And one of the reasons reading this week to week it was the most exciting for me is because up until this point I felt like whenever Bomb was in a fight, he had just gotten a power-up, or even with the Joaquin fight, he gets a power-up during it or before it, kind of. During it and before it, really. So there wasn't just that thing where Bomb has a power up and he doesn't struggle that much against the bad guy. When he fought against Daniel, that was the first time I remembered actually thinking Bomb is struggling. Bomb could lose to this guy. That was like a huge moment for me, seeing Bomb like getting his ass kicked, potentially going to lose to someone. Then beyond that, we got to see Ryun and Angel's fight. We got to see Wangnan and what is it? When Wangnan and Yiwa came in and Wangnan fought against Casino, that was amazing. It was also amazing seeing the ending parts where Bomb just goes into the Thorn Rage. Was one of the most epic things to me. He goes into the Thorn Rage and just one-shots Daniel and then fights against Elliot, and Elliot stands up to him even in Thorn Rage form. It was just blowing my mind week to week. And then the ending has, like, towards the ending is one of my favorite chapters in the entire series, and that's the chapter where Rachel pushes Bomb off the platform, completely mirroring the betrayal from Volume 1. And when she pushes him off, we get more development on his backstory, we get to see more about his history, and we get that amazing symbolism in line where he's like, you know, you're an angel to me, Rachel. One day, I hope that I can have more friends. I can have angels to protect me. And as he's thinking that, falling from the sky, you see Beta catch him with the wings made of Shinsu, and Kun and Wangnan screaming out his name and stuff. Like, it was just so good, so emotional, so symbolic, and honestly, because of all of it, like, it wasn't one of those things where there's one good thing I like. There were so many different things I absolutely loved that Revolution Road became my favorite arc of all of Tower of God. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did like it. Comment down there and tell me your favorite arcs from all of Tower of God, because I'm interested to know your favorite arcs as well. Tell me what you thought of my favorite arcs, if you want as well. Subscribe for more Tower of God, One Piece, The Walking Dead, and a bunch more, because I will be doing a bunch more videos, of course. Follow on Twitter for updates. I will tweet out whenever I post a new video, or if anything has to be pushed back. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.